back to the Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Allie Clifton alongside James Worthy, Mike Bresnan, Mike Trudell, handling the locker room responsibilities along with Nikki K downtown at Crypto.com Arena. It wasn't always pretty, but the Lakers get the job done. Put together a nice win heading into the All-Star break. Hand the Mavs their 9th straight loss, guys. And on a night where you didn't have two starters, no Luka Doncic, no DeAndre Ayton, you had 5 Lakers in double figures. You only give up 104 in a 20-point win. But the big story, LeBron adds to the history books. How about this? Becomes the only player in the history of the NBA to post a triple-double. The oldest player at 41 years old to post a triple-double. Big game, 28, 12, and 10.
Amazing. I got a feeling there's going to be a few more records that only a 41-year-old has broken in the NBA. You know, the last game before the All-Star break, Luka's out. You know, you might think that LeBron's going to just, like, take it easy and, you know, go into the All-Star weekend. But I think he understood the significance of this game and comes out and gets a freaking triple-double. He just loves the game. He led this team. Yeah, they were a little, you know, shady in the first half. Dallas shot the 3 ball very well there for a second. The Lakers got that lead, gave it up. That was disappointing. But then they regained it in the third and went on ahead and got the victory. It's a hard game to play, the game before All-Star weekend. I thought they did a great job. The bench did what they were supposed to do. I think they had, 39 points or so. They had 35 assists tonight. That was good. The ball was moving. And they did what they're supposed to do in the third and fourth quarter to reestablish themselves at home to get the victory. But LeBron, you just can't say enough about his career, and he continues to break records and lead teams the day before All-Star break. I thought he'd take the night off.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to take the night off.
I mean, think of it's not even pressure, but think of the weight that LeBron had to carry in this game. You do not want to lose to Dallas. This team had lost 8 in a row, giving up a ton of points a game. Dallas is like an all-star defense every single night these days. And they were right there with the Lakers in that first half, Ellie, you know, kind of in a scary situation, like, uh-oh, what's going on here? J.J. Redick surely talked to the team at halftime like, guys, play some defense. Sure enough, the Lakers come out in that third quarter, allow only 19 points. Gave up only 22 in the fourth. Slogged, got bogged down a little bit in that fourth. Kind of a festival of fouls. Both teams in a bonus about halfway through the fourth quarter. But the Lakers just kind of pushed through it. And James, you know, here they're at the break. You know, they're in good position. You know, they're in the top 6. So right now they're not a play-in game, a play-in team. And the deal is, for the next 2 months, you just got to stay above that 6-7 line and try to finish top 4 if you can, get that first round here in LA. But bottom line, Allie, they did it. Not a beautiful game. It's not going to be in any season-ending tributes or anything like that. But LeBron was amazing once again. I'm
sure J.J. Redick will be much happier now post-game than he was at the half. I will say, I believe it was you that said, was this his first of the year? And we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It is his first triple-double of the career, or of the year, excuse me. It is his 123rd and his 50th with the Lakers. But we have some more history for you as well, because tonight, when it comes to 2010 games in NBA history, he's got 295, tying that of Magic Johnson. And anytime you're mentioned in the same with Magic, it's pretty big.
I mean, to catch Magic and, you know, going to passing, it's just remarkable. I mean, those are records. You look at Oscar Robertson, 4'10", my God. You don't think people are going to get those records. They've been held for so long. But then here comes the kid from Ohio, just breaking the glass ceiling with record breaking.
It's like, he had fun too. You can tell, you know, that little sling over the shoulder to Jackson Hayes. I'm eager to hear what LeBron says after the game. He's going to put away another All-Star game this weekend down the street at the Clippers home arena. And I kind of like the vibe of the team right now. A tough week, obviously, losing a tough one to OKC, where the Thunder really pulled away in the last few minutes of that one. And then, you know, none of the starters played. The following night against San Antonio, a big blowout on behalf of the Spurs. So, Allie, they really needed this. And I like Jackson Hayes in his interview with Mike Trudell just now. He said, you know what? I could have taken that 10th rebound away from LeBron, but I wanted him to get the triple-double. So they're winning. They're back on the winning track anyway, and they're having a good time doing it.
I think when you think about it, the Lakers don't play again for a week now. You've reached that point of the season, right, where you've earned some rest. But you think about how not just physically but mentally games like this can be challenging, right? And you look at the second and third, you kind of brought this up, but the second and third quarters alone, they were outscored there in the second quarter. Dallas went on that 12-0 run to finish the half. Big game. But then you're able to kind of lock in and refocus. And I think that's a sign of kind of what exactly you needed at that moment, probably the leadership of LeBron to start the third, and you win the third by 13.
Yeah, of course. The Lakers have this internal clock that when they get a lead, it stops ticking for some reason, and they allow the Mavericks to get back in. It was some hot shooting by them, but nevertheless, when they got that lead back to, was it 1 at halftime or 2 or something like that?
One.
I was very disappointed, as we talked about it at halftime, that they allowed that to happen. That's one characteristic that they got to change, and they need to talk about it, over the All-Star break. We cannot afford to give up leads, as you just mentioned. They're coming back. Playing the Clippers the first game when they come back. They just played them a while back. I think it was a disappointing loss. They felt like they had a chance to win that one. So you can't come back after the break and continue. There's things you need to change. That's one of them. When you get leads, you got to refocus and keep that lead and not turn the ball over. Not give it up so easily. If teams come back on you, make them earn it. But I think that's something they'll have to work on in the second half of the season.
And some big games right away after the break. You come back, you play a week from Friday against the Clippers, but then you have Boston, Orlando, Phoenix, Golden State, all teams that are in the playoffs at this point, or at least at the play-in tournament. And James, giving up 63 points in the first half to this Mavs team. There's a reason J.J. Redick declined the customary halftime walk-off interview when the Lakers are ahead. He was not happy. And I'd love to hear, if he talks about it, maybe in the next few minutes, about what he said at halftime. I'm sure a reporter might be like, what adjustments did you make? What'd you tell the team at halftime? That's what I'd be asking right now, because it's a completely different team from the one that gave up all those points to end the second quarter to the one that only allowed 19. Again, to a very underpowered Mavs team with no Cooper Flag, traded AD a couple weeks ago. He's out. It really is some spare parts right now for the Mavs. And for that team to get 63 in the first half, J.J. Redick was not a happy man.
Lakers go to 22-8 versus teams below 500. And what a segue. Let's see if the beat writers did their job like you're requesting. We're head back downtown. Time to hear from head coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
Just one on the game, JJ. They made that run 12-0 kind of at the end of the second quarter. What did you need to do to just re-engage in the third and push things back out to a healthy point?
Just challenge the guys to be better defensively. The stuff we talked about before the game, and partially just the individual pride on the ball and our low man, or just our shell principles. They weren't sharp in the first half, and thought, we went away from it, the zone when Thompson was on the floor for the most part in the first half, and then did a nice job to start the third. And 41 points in the second half. I thought we definitely we picked it up defensively.
So all things considered, 12 games over 500 going into the break. I think you had, 10 games with Reeves and Doncic and James all on the court. Would you say that marks kind of a successful place to build from, and ideally you get guys together to make a push in the second half? Yeah,
I mentioned the other day that I did it as a player. I'd probably do it more as a coach. The micro day-to-day stuff that you fret over and you think about all day long. That's one part of this job. The other part is the macro stuff and the big picture stuff. Look, if you told me in September that we'd be, are we 5 in the West or 6?
It'd be like a half game back up.
Yeah, we're 5. So we're top 5 in the West, and we've had those guys together for 10 games, and AR's missed some time at an extended stretch. Luka's missed some time. Bron missed the start of the year. You take that. So certainly doesn't mean the day-to-day, internal pressure you put on yourself, and I know the guys put on themselves because they care. Doesn't mean that's going to go away, but you've got to feel good about the last 14 games outside of the San Antonio game the other night.
We have it as LeBron scoring or assisting the first 23 points of the game for you guys, which is the longest stretch that he's had to start a game in his career. And there's some clips that the Lakers shared of him kind of like bouncing off the walls pregame, dancing and screaming in the tunnel. How can he impact this group, or how did he impact the group with just his reservoir of energy, and how do they respond to him when he brings it that way?
I think he's done it all season, and he's, from a coaching perspective, he's done everything we've asked of him and everything that sort of should be realistically expected of a guy in his 23rd season. And I think for him, he spends an inordinate amount of time preparing his body to be able to play at this stage of his career. And I know he got some work in with St. Jean pregame, and just felt like he was in a good flow and rhythm, basketball wise, beyond just the energy. I think he's always going to do what is necessary to get ready to get his body ready to play. But I think the shooting, the no hesitation. We ran the flash single early, and he hits the three behind the screen just without hesitation. So the basketball flow was really good tonight.
JJ, along those lines, he's the oldest player ever now to have a triple-double in this league, past Karl Malone for that record. At this stage, as these things occur, is it incredible? Do you still find it how does that stat hit you, or is just because he's so good most nights, it maybe kind of loses some of his special?
I don't take for granted how good he is. I recognize that on a daily basis. I think it goes back to what I've said on numerous occasions. The more remarkable thing is how much he cares in his 23rd year with all his accomplishments. So it's not the next. He's going to get another oldest player to do X, Y, or Z. He's going to get another one of that. He's going to further cement his scoring record. He's going to do all those things. It's really just the day-to-day professionalism and care factor that he exhibits that is the most remarkable thing. He's, like I said the other day, he's got a 23-year prime basically, and there's different versions of him, but that's what's remarkable.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Hey guys, everybody enjoy your break. If you're participating in All-Star Weekend, I hope the game is great.
Pretty sure JJ said in the pregame he hasn't watched it in about 10 years, if not maybe 15. We love you, JJ. Let's show you the highlight of this one in case you missed it. Obviously, downtown.